Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on Power Query and pivot table. So right now what you're looking at is you're looking on an Excel file that has population data, country name, continent, and also the populations for the respective years. So what I want to do is I will show you what is Power Query and I will show you what is pivot table, and of course from this given database I want to create a presentation. So I'll press Ctrl A. By pressing Ctrl A, what happens is it will highlight the entire table. Then I go to data. I click from table/range. By clicking this, what happens is it will actually select the particular table, particular range, and eventually it will be navigated to Power Query Editor. So when I click this, you will notice that a box will appear. So in this particular box, they will ask you whether your table has headers. Yes, this particular table, this is the header, and you just press OK. By pressing OK, you will be noticed that you will be navigated to Power Query Editor. So this is Power Query Editor. So what happens is you have the country name, the continent, the respective years, and the population. So I will select all this, all the columns, and I want to put it in one column. So you can go to transform and you can press unpivot column. Unpivot column is whereby it will actually transpose the column. So it will translate into attribute and values. So meaning to say, when I can right click here, I can also press unpivot column. You can click it over here, or under transform you can click it over here. So what I want to do is I can actually choose this, or you can also choose this way. Right click, unpivot other columns, meaning the other columns will be unpivoted. So now we do have the country name, we have the continent, and here we have the year. So you can rename this as year, and you can actually rename this as population. Okay, since we have already transformed the data, what's the next step? The next step is you can go to home and click close and load. But I don't want to press close and load. Instead, I want to press close and load too. Why? When you press close and load, eventually it will load as a table in a new worksheet. I want to press close and load too because it will give me several options like pivot table, pivot chart, and only create connection. So what I want is I want to actually show in a pivot table and yes, in a new worksheet. So there you go. So now what happened is it has pivot table 1. So what I want to do is basically I want to know the population data. So I'll just click the population. Yes, we have these numbers, but this is not accurate. I will just try to put the year at the columns. So now this is correct. But what I want is I want to make it in a proper format. So right click, and then what I'll do is I'll go to number format and I'll just choose number, and I don't want the decimal places. So I'll put here 0. And I'll just tick for 1000 separator, and just like that we can know, okay, every year we have about almost 8 billion population. And what the next thing I want to do is I actually want to know the trending. So I'll just put the population, drag it down, okay, and the population, the values I'll put at the rows. So now it looks better, and I'll do one more time. Okay, so right now we do have this data. So let me just put the population one more time. Okay, so now here we have the population. What I want here is basically I want to know the trending, whether to show increase, decrease, and so on. So I'm going to press here right click, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to show value as, and then over here what I'll do is I'll just click on percentage difference from. Okay, so percentage different from, I'll put here previous, and then I'll just put here okay. So meaning to say here it will show us what's the percentage, whether it's increase and so on. So let me just swap this. Okay, so here we do have the percentage. Here what I'll do is I'll just put here show value as and difference from, and then based on previous. Okay, so this one will be based on previous. This one is based on the previous year in the form of percentage. So basically we want to see whether it's increase or decrease and so on. And here what I'll do is right click, number format, and I'll choose in a number format. I don't want the 0, I don't want the decimal places, I put 0, and use 1000 separator, I press OK. So right now it looks better. So it can give us, okay, that means it increased in 2019, increased in 2020, increased in 2021. And I also want to show conditional formatting. So I'll go and click here, conditional formatting, and I'll choose icon set, maybe simple one like this. And conditional formatting, highlight cell rules greater than 0, green color. And then conditional formatting, highlight cell rules less than 0, red color. So of course I want it to appear in other years as well. So what I'm going to do is manage rule, and then over here edit rule, you all this thing, press OK. And the same thing I'm going to do here. and all the cell, then press OK. And the last thing over here is edit rule, and then all, but here I don't want percent, I want here number, and here also number. So over here I want greater than 0, and then I press OK, and then OK. So just like that we can see, okay, that means over the past 3 years the population has been increasing. You can do the same for the percentage as well. So I'm going to click it over here, and greater than 0, okay, and then after that less than 0, also the same thing. And then over here what I want to do is icon set, I want to choose the arrows. So you can actually go to the manage rule. So here we have these 3 things. Instead of applying to the particular cell, we want to apply to the particular pivot table. So edit rule, and then here tick this, here will be number, here also will be number. So this will be greater than, and then you press OK. Then the second thing over here is edit rule, and then here press OK. And then the last one, edit rule, and then you just click it over here, and then you press OK and OK. So now it has done. So I want to actually make it better. So I'll just go to design and do not show grand total. So don't have grand total. And I want to change the coloring. So I will just choose this format maybe. So it looks better. And I don't want the fill header. So I'll just press off of fill header. So just like that. So now it looks better. And of course here you can just put here total population. This will be the yearly trending. Okay, so I'm going to press this, and this one also I'm going to change to yearly trending, but in the form of percentage. Okay, so now we do have this data. Let me just put it align center. So from here we can actually understand the population data. What next I want to do is basically I want to actually show us the top 5 countries. So I'm going to press here Ctrl A, copy, and I'll just paste it over here. So this thing over here, what I don't want the yearly trending. I'll just off it over here. So yes, we do have a population. The years I don't really want, because the years I want to do based on like a slicer selection. So I'll just off the year, and I'll just try to put the countries. Apparently we do have all the countries. What I'll do is I'll just turn on the fill header. Okay, so this one I don't want all the countries. I only want the top 5 countries. Okay, so here we have top 5 countries. That's great, but I want to actually sort properly. So I'll just right click here, sort largest to smallest. Okay, so now it looks better. Then I'll put the population one more time over here. Okay, so the values go up here, and this one I will try to use data bars. So I'll go to home, conditional formatting, and I'll just choose data bar, more rules. So I'll just put over here all cells show the same population, show bar only, and I'll choose dark blue. Okay, and then there you go. So now what you are looking is you are noticing that China is the #1 country in the population, but apparently this is for all the 3 years. So you can just click what? You can just go to the pivot table, insert slicer, you just tick for the year, and also you just tick for the continent. Okay, so instead for all the years, what you do is if you select 2021, apparently you notice that, okay, of course this one doesn't have change because this pivot slicer works for this current pivot table. So if just say you want the pivot table to be work when you click any of the slicers, so you need to select this, right click, report connection, you must tick this, and then you press OK. For this I never tick because anything when I tick here, I only want this particular pivot table to change. But when I just say I click Asia, Africa, you will notice the both pivot table changes. So the beauty is what you understand is, okay, for example, when I click Europe, you get to understand that Europe, we notice that is a negative trending for the past 2 years. There is a reduction of the population, and we get to know in Europe, apparently the top 5 countries with larger population is Russia, Germany, France, UK, and Italy. So you can just click this. So it changes automatically. When you click South America, what you'll notice is, okay, South America, there is small increase. And one more thing is you get to know, okay, what are the top 5 countries. So when you click Oceania, so we see there's increased population. Asia and Africa, the same thing. So only in Europe, we notice that there's a negative growth and so on. So what we can learn is, in this particular case study, we use basically a raw data. We go to Power Query to do some minor transformation, And then we use pivot table to show the data storytelling, data analysis. Like we can understand what is the top 5 countries, what is the growth, what is the population trending, and so on. And we also try conditional formatting, whereby we change the coloring. We just try to actually amplify our understanding. So in this particular video, you learn Power Query, you learn pivot table, and you also learn about conditional formatting.